Hey everyone, thanks for joining this session today. I'm Lakshay. You must have seen me around in the community. Uh, I'm currently handling community operations at Zyte, and today I'm going to walk you through a fully working Scrapy project from setup to scraping, then filtering, and even sending Discord notifications or controlling it with a bot from Discord itself. And we will have a lightweight automation to run your spider on schedule. And we will do this all using Zyte API and Scrapy pipelines. We'll also use a Discord py library. And yeah, okay, let's begin. And I will share my screen now. Cool. So yeah, even before we begin, let me give you a small like demo how this project actually works. So we'll move to the dummy script, dummy Discord server. So if I take you to the this and yep. So this is sort of a dummy server which you can see. So we our project sort of gives us few commands which we can run. Just for the dummy part, I will run these commands. So for example, we have a dummy site from where we want to extract the data, and you set up the level of the data and then give the pages, and yep, it sort of will start the scraper just into the your Discord itself. So till the time it runs, let me walk you through the project architecture. Let's first see the structure. So the project is divided into two parts. It will come handy when we once we go through the code base. So the first part to it is the like what we call is the top level scripts, and then the main Scrapy project, that is the core of this. So we will like the core scripter engine is our the Scrapy spider, which is the leaderboard like the leaderboard spider here. And then we use the pipelines to manage our like filtering and processing the data. And then we have the Discord notifier that sends notification to Discord, and then a Discord bot which gives us complete control from the Discord, like the Discord itself, and then a scheduler, a sort of a autopilot with which you can uh, run the your spider onto like after some interval. So that was it, and yeah, that is its architecture. So as a user, you have a three options to run the project. One is like you can run it as a standalone spider just by running the script equal command, or we have a like a control center main.py file which will help you to uh, like run the spider individually. uh so yeah, and another method is you can just you can host your this project, like this complete Scrapy project, on some mini server like ngblock or somewhere, and you can just run the monitoring process which will run the spider in some after scheduling, and will send the notification to Discord like your or like in your community or a team. So and you can give a like get a complete control of this via the Discord board as well. So that is another part of it. And yep, our Scrapy engine uses Zyte API to fetch the content from the gaming website, and then we store the player data as a JSON file, and then we send the notification to Discord channel that goes to the user. So I think our content has been loaded. Yeah, see. So we run this scrapper with the scrape command. It's I have added like a progress bar which shows the progress. Then we have the like the ETA as well, which shows like how much time it will take to complete the scraping. And yeah, it shows us the new players that were found onto the site. And if you click on view results, you can actually visualize the all the fetched content, like the how many players were there, like what was their kingdom, what was their experience level, and everything. So yep, and you can just move to the next sheet. So yep, now let's dive to the code base. We shift to the VS Code quickly. Okay. So once you have you have set up your Scrapy project, you will get some default files in your Scrapy project folder. So I would say whenever you're starting the project, like I highly recommend actually like to setting your items.py, and actually it keeps your the script data structured. Your code will be cleaner and makes scaling or debugging your code much easier later on. So always use that. So like here is our items.py file. This defines the shape of the like the raw data we want to capture. and these are the structured containers that hold the scrape data. So the like right now they will be unprocessed. We will use the pipelines.py file, and the data will be processed like the based on the certain filters like which will be set, like the experience of the players or the pages we want the data from. So we will do that. Before you do that, okay, sorry, there's a Discord sound. I'm looking at Discord again and again, so if there is some issue, but yeah, let's continue. Okay, and before you actually write your own spider, I would say just go to the settings.py, and since we are relying on Zyte API to handle JavaScript rendering and anti-bot defenses from the site, we will need to tell the Scrapy to use Zyte as the backend for all the requests, right? So just pass your Zyte API key into the spider. So sorry, the settings.py. So I have set it into the environment file. That is the good practice to do. So always do like that. And then we have certain other things into the settings.py. One thing I really find cool in the script, and when we are using it in Zyte, where that script handles all the errors and with retries. Like if you were doing this with just a raw Python script and Zyte API, you had manually write a retry mechanism or an error handle for that. And actually that's something we actually did, this project actually evolved from the community discussion. If you go to the Zyte zone channel into the Discord, you will find like some user was asking like if they could bypass the anti-one from that site, and this project came out of that. So while helping him, actually the code that was written in that, we specifically write the custom error handling for the 502 code. But I think that's what makes Scrapy and Zyte API go hand in hand. Like it handles the all the errors at one place. So yeah, and rest we have our some middleware, some handlers, and uh, some default things that we need to have, and these item store pipelines that will go through one by one in the pipeline store pipe. So yeah, and this is also like default minimum level. If you don't pass like how much level your players should have, when you're expecting, it will pick a default by from the environmental file. And yeah, now let's jump to the spider. So this is the core of our custom spider, that crawls each leaderboard page and extracts the player info. So we have three main functions powering the spider. Uh, like under the class, one is we initialize it. Then we have the start request method. Sorry, the async default start, and then we have do the parsing. So and this is just the error handling, so we don't consider that. So these are the main in the this init. When we actually, so inside the init method, we are just setting up some basic configuration. Okay, yeah. So inside the init method, we are just setting up the basic configuration like the minimum player level, or how many pages we want to scrape, and we have to save the actual data. That's it. And yeah, certain some basic logs to help us in the debugging. And the actual magic happens in this the start function. So we start our request, we specify the URL we want to scrape. So the site we are targeting is sort of a gaming site, which has a leaderboard inside it, and which has the players set up based on their experiences. So each page has a 25 players. So we specify the page and we specify the experience we want, and the spider scrapes only those of the players. So uh, yeah, and just we are not scraping the plain HTML side. This is a JavaScript heavy site, so we use the API with browser automation to render JavaScript. So yeah, we just set the browser HTML to true, JavaScript to true, since we want to tell like the Zyte API to use the JavaScript here, like render through the JavaScript, and then we set the action with wait time. Sometimes the content takes few seconds to fully load, so this just waits before we do the actual scraping. And then we set the geolocation. Actually, this is the important one. Initially, we like when I was working on the site, the site was loading the incomplete content. So based on the region, it was giving me some pages were getting with the content and some were not. So after a few test scripts, I found that the setting of the location to US was sort of working out. So that is the important part here. And yeah, then we do this set up the callback and some error handling, and then filtration is set. And yeah, we set the some random sleep time so we don't overwhelm the website with our request. And yeah, so So yeah, once we have sent a request to the leaderboard page, Zyte gives us the full true HTML content after writing JavaScript. But the HTML is still messy, and we need to make sense out of it. So there is where that's where the parsing comes in. The parse method we use, the CSS selectors to go through the page line by line. And so if you see these, like this part, you will find that we are using two CSS selectors here as a fallback strategy. So the thing was, some pages, in this had slightly different HTML structures. So for example, the text might was wrapped in a font tag in some, and some cases it was not. So I feel it was also kind of a human error, or something from a developer side, like the tags aren't consistent, or maybe I don't know, like maybe someone added it as a trick to to trick the web scrapers to don't scrape the data. But it came up really handy to get us the complete consistent data. So yeah, next we are using our items.py class here, and we created object. And now this part here, we are building the row in the row pair item with the each specific parameter inside it. It is done for the each pair we scrape. Now, yep, and then we just did the basic logging here. So that was about the spider. So see, I'm trying to keep the things clean here. Our items.py handles the data schema, and our spider is meant to focus solely on the crawling and extracting the raw data. And it will not validate it, not clean it, or save it. Right? Our title is to scrape, to filter, and not notify. Right? So we have done scraping with this. We have done the scraping with the spider. Now our pipelines.py will handle the the filtration and the processing of the data, and then it will link to the Discord notifier, which will send the message to Discord. Okay. So our pipeline is actually divided into two parts. uh, yep. So the first one is the class processor pipeline. So we just when this class is created, it will be some empty list, like to store the player's data. And after that, we set up some default placeholders for the file path, and to the like we want to save it, and then the filters. Now we open our spider from here, and so these are modified commands from if you will go to the Scrapy, like docs of Scrapy, you will find that there are two functions which can be modified under the pipeline. One is the open spider and the close spider. So they are from there, and like they are custom built in this pipeline. So uh, yeah, so if there is any, the old JSON available, like the old data is available, because we are comparing, if there are new players, then it will notify onto the Discord. So, okay. Yeah, so it loads any previous data if the previous JSON file is there, and then it also stores a reference to itself, which which the second pipeline will use it later on. So next we have our process item function. Okay. Yeah. So next we have process item function. So this is where actually the where we are going to clean the data and validate that up. So we will pull the row raw data, like name, kingdom, and level and experience, and like just clean them up. We store the data in the dictionary format. Yeah, it will be saved in the into the JSON file with the dictionary format. So we first filter it based on to the level that we have set, the experience level that I told you guys, right? So, and then we also do the deduplication of this data. Like if there are any duplicate player is found in multiple pages, that will be removed to save the data. So we do this validation, and we do also have the page check after it. And once we do that, we jump to the after logging down, uh, how many players were loaded, how many players were have this that much of experience, that is logged. After that, we jump to the close spider. But before that, there is one more thing, like the full list that for the players will be saved into the JSON format, but the new player list, which is this one, that will only saved in the memory. you will know in the next step why we are only saving it into the memory. So this is the closed spider. So when the spider is, when the our leaderboard spider, like the Scrapy spider is done, closed spider is triggered to save everything. Like it is a sort of a trigger for Scrapy project that okay, it's time to wrap up the spider, like we have done with the scraping and extracting the data. Now there are the final scripts that you can run. So this file, what this does is it writes down a JSON file, and then it logs the status like minimum, maximum, and average level, what was for the players. And finally, it attaches the final list to the spider, and it gives a spider instance like after logging down it. So yeah, and we also do have a progress bar to show like how much progress is left to scrape it. So yeah, that was about the cleaning and saving of the data. So next we have is the Yep. So yeah, next we have the Discord notification pipeline. So this pipeline helps us to connect with the Discord notifier. So we'll go through the code of that as well. So how it functions is this pipeline initializes a Discord notifier instance like at first step, and which handles sending messages to the Discord via webhook. And then we have the process item. We don't do anything here. This is empty because it just passes item along from above. And that's because our Discord, on Discord we just show the summary. Like I showed you the okay, we'll show it later. But yeah, like it just show the summary onto the Discord, and it doesn't show like a per each player. So uh, yeah, and then we again close the spider. Now, like you might see this that there are two close spider methods because we have two separate pipelines, and each does a different job at the end of the spider runs. So the first one is in the first one is in the this like the player processing pipeline. So think of it as the cleanup group for the data. It saves all the clean player info into a JSON file, and it will log some helpful stats like player levels, kingdom distribution, and keeps track of which players were newly found in this run. And then it will store the newly players in the memory. So the next pipeline, this Discord notifier pipeline, can access them easily later on. So uh, yeah, and the close spider that we have used into the Discord uh, notification pipeline, its job is to it gives after the data is ready, like you have cleaned the data, you have processed the data, and it's time to notify on Discord. So this will run at that time. So it will just send the message summary what was found. Is basically wrap things up by giving a quick heads up via Discord. So actually Scrapy allows us to like each pipeline can have its own close spider method, and it runs them automatically when the spider finishes. So uh, yeah, and don't forget to just once you're created your pipelines, don't forget to mention into the settings.py with their priority levels. So that will really come handy. Yeah, do set these priority levels. So yeah, so once we have done this, next we have this notifier file. So once the pipeline is done, we want to share these results with our team or the community. So this Discord notifier class handles connecting to the Discord, formatting the message, and sending it to the Discord channel. Right? We need to specify the your Discord token ID and Discord channel ID into the environment.file. So yeah, you can refer to the Discord documentation. Oh, that's quite easy. You can go to Discord developer tools, and it will really come handy to create a port. Uh, yeah, so as basically we just initialize and you load the parameters like this bot token, and then we prepare our this function to set. So yeah, just to be clear, this is not a Discord bot right now. It is just a Python script which is created using discord.py, which will just notify onto the Discord. So Discord bot is sort of separate from this. The reason being because this script was also supposed to be run individually. So that's why. Yep. So our send notification function, what is does it? It logs in with the board token, like which will provide it from the environment, and once it does that, it will find the channel using the channel ID, which we will provide, and yeah, and once that's done, we build a Discord embed, basically a rich formatted message, like with the title, description, and the timestamp. So like it will show the your content in a summarized way on the Discord in sort of beautify way. So and we will only limit it to the top 10 players, just to not overwhelm the Discord server with a long message. So it will only send the top 10 new players, and finally we send the message and we close the connection. Now we have our notify function, which is a wrapper around the uh, sorry, sorry. This is our notify function. So you might have seen in the pipeline, we already initialized the uh, this code notifier here, right? So why do we need this notify? So right now the thing is, see, since Scrapy itself runs asynchronously on top of Twisted. So Twisted is a network library that provides the asynchronous framework. That Scrapy uses for its operations. You can check out the Scrapy recommendation for that, for like the architecture of it. But it means that Scrapy manages lots of things like web request and processing concurrently within its own Twisted event loop. So now when the spider finishes scraping, it like Scrapy begins to shut things down, right? And we also run our close spider, which helps in that, like running the final scripts. But still, even during that shutdown, we are still in the Scrapy twisted event loop. So, but on the other hand, our Discord.py, which I told you we are using to create our this Discord board. Actually, there are two uh, library which you can use, like the discord.py and discord.js. So in discord.py, it uses a async which runs its own separate event loop. So you might have seen on to the notify, we are using this async. So it runs its own event loop. So the problem is that you cannot run an async loop by another event loop like twisted, which is from Scrape is already running. So Python will raise a runtime error, right? Because you are trying to start one event loop inside another. So to work this around, we created this notify wrapper that checks whether there is already an event loop running like twisted. If it finds one, it runs a Discord notification function like the above one in a new thread with its own loop, so it doesn't interfere with the twisted. So yeah, I hope that clears things out. So yeah, now let's just try this spider. I will now just run this. I will not use the script crawl command, since I've created a one main function I told you, right, which help us to run like individually our spider, or to run it as a this function, like running as a continuous monitoring file, or uh, we can run it via the Discord board. So it uses like the process.crawl process.crawl, which is a way to initiate a Scrapy spider directly from a Python code without using a command line. So we'll run it via that directly, and it will start the spider. Now, while the spider runs, let's quickly recap what we have covered so far with uh, this diagram. So yep, we started our spider, and it will generate the page URLs from a certain site, like which are how many pages we want to scrape, and then the request will be sent via the Zyte API, and we will render the JavaScript, because this is not a plain HTML. The content is inside the JavaScript, and then we'll do the parsing. I told you we are using the two as a fallback strategy. We are using the two different selectors, and then we have certain permission, like based on the minimum level, or like if they are the new players, they will be added to the results, saved to the JSON, and the Discord alert will be set. If they are like not the new players, they will discard it, right? And yeah, into the like now we as we have completed this much part, like we have scraped, we have filtered, we have sort of been notified onto the Discord. Yeah, and we have to show you on Discord. So yep, so we have received it just now. See, like this was we ran from directly from Discord, and this one came from our recent running spider as it finishes. Like it's just notified for the new players, and it only shows the 10 players. So yeah, that's how that was the if you are running this spider standalone just from the background without a Discord, so that's how it will show. Now what we will do is we have got the content, we've done the scraping, we've done the filtering, we have notified onto the Discord. Now we'll add the monitoring to it. So I'll walk you quickly through a file, a scheduler file. So continuous monitor file. Okay, so now let's talk how we can automate this complete scripting process. So when you run this file, like this scheduler file, uh, this will start a loop. It will launch the spider as a sub process, and it will first wait for it to finish, and then it will sleep for some time, right? By sleep, I mean you will set certain interval, like for 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and after that the script will run again. And yeah, so this is the class sort of which is heart of this complete script. And uh, so we start with the basic initialization. So we default monitoring status, like if it is already working or not. So this actually comes in handy once we do integrate it with the Discord board, because if it is already running and we already, we again ping the slash command from Discord to run this again. So these parameters really come handy at that time. So uh, yep. So yeah, and then we have our yeah, these are basic logging, like the shutdown if you immediately shut down this script. And after that we have our uh, this run spider process. So what it does is, I told you we have the main function, right? So it will just trigger the spider from there, like from here, like it will use this run spider command and it will just trigger directly the access root crawl from here, and that way it is able to run the spider. See, the spider is running similar way that I run it from here. It is just a scheduler that is will run on a loop to start this step, like this spider in after some interval. So yeah, and so once it has sent this device part, yeah, and then after that we just print the important information that we have got, like total players, new players, found, final save, just similar to one I showed you on Discord recently. And then it will sleep for some time, so we can actually, yeah, so it is not that sleep for some time. So for the sleeping part we are using two versions of sleep, so one for the terminal use and one for the async environment. For example, if you are running this continuous monitoring, like from a server directly, not from a Discord board, right? So at that time, we use this method, like the first one, that is not async, that is a synchronous method. And if you are you running it from async environment, which is the Discord board, we will use this second method, in which we use async queue again to sleep the board for some time. Uh, Yeah, and next we have the start monitoring. So this triggers the monitor again. Like if you want, like on Discord, if I show you, uh, yeah, so like if I show in Discord, we have multiple commands. So we have monitor start, monitor stop, monitor status command. So these come really handy into the continuous monitor file. So cool. Okay, so we're discussing around this continuous monitor file, which allows us to run the scheduler. It uses like the simple spider script sub process, which triggers the spider directly, like similar we ran with the command line via the main.py file. So yeah, we were actually the end of it. So yeah, like it will start the monitoring, and that is a main loop actually where the monitoring happens. So it triggers all the function we discussed above, and it will print the like all the info that we have. So like like what was the continuous monitoring trigger, like the parameters we have specified onto the interval. I'll show it on your Discord after we have discussed the Discord code file. So yeah, and then the basic status, stop monitoring, and yep, and to like trigger this up. Now let me show you the Discord notifier file. So the Discord board file. So it's quite a huge file. So before I walk you through it, let me show you the diagram of it, how it actually works. So that will give you a better idea. We'll do a quick go through of this code, but can't go in depth due to the time. But yeah, so as a Discord user, we will have a like five options to use this bot. So one is if we use the scrape command, like I show in the starting, we will run the scraper and it will trigger the leaderboard spider, and the real time progress will be shown in the Discord, and we will get a view results button and with a pagination view to view it, right? And if we want to like if we do it with the start monitoring, it will start a scheduler which will run it after some time, and then you just show help command to just use how to use the bot, and we can stop the monitoring from this, and we can check the status of the monitoring if it is already running. So now let's see the code. So our Discord code, at first part we have this create progress bar. So this is nothing, it uses a unicode to sort of create a progress bar to show how much time is left to like when the script will be completed. And then we have we will do the this reading, like we'll read these tokens and channel IDs and all the parameters from the environment.file. And yeah, then we will register these intents, and the all the commands will be registered onto the onto Discord, so that we can use it out. And once we do that, we just print out the basic stuff to check if the board runs successfully. And uh, like we just log this details into the terminal, just handy for that if you are doing some debugging for the developer side, not for the production. So yeah, and then we just start registering our commands, like function of the each one, like the script slash command. uh, I think these are the basic setup of the Discord board that you can definitely learn from any simple tutorials from a YouTube or anywhere. So definitely not gonna waste time on that. But yeah, just this is our first command, and then the script slash command. Then we have our help to script slash command, like which shows all the commands, like how to do the scraping from this board inside the Discord. And then we have the then we have the monitor start, like it will start the monitoring, it will trigger the scheduler file, which we recently walked through, like the continuous monitoring file. So it will trigger that with this, and it will show like an interactive way, like it's starting, then the parameters we have passed, and then we use monitor. So yeah, and after that we register our monitor stop slash command. It will help to stop the monitoring that is up and running. So that was one. And then we have monitor status command that will show us the status, if the monitor status is already running or not. And yeah, we get then a view result button, which allows us to view the files on the Discord that I just show you, right? Like you can uh, view the things on the Discord like this. So that is done via this function. So, and if you're writing the Discord board file, I feel the discord.py or discord.js, both are the mature documentation. Like they're quite old one. So even if you ask any LLM like DeepSeek R1 or any ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, actually, when I tried, you can pass just the logic to it, and so when I was passing the logic to create this file with the LLM, so ChatGPT was not able to get me the proper structure of it, but DeepSeek R1 quite well. So see, in Spider, you can't much use LLM properly because you can't inspect the site properly. So that's why that you need to do it yourself. But for the Discord bot, I would suggest just use any LLM. That will come really handy. Just explain the logic, how do you want it, and it will create a file for it. Even after this session in the community, I will share you the prompt which you can put, and it will create the same logic for you. So as also it was small prompt. Yeah, so we were discussing about the creation of this. The Like we have the view result button with which we can view the results, which shows us the complete visualization of the data we have scraped. And then this is the page initiation view that helps us into the above function only. Yeah, and then we run the similar with as run scraper. We ran via the continuous scheduler, like because bot also allows us to run the spider standalone, right, without the scheduling. So this command is needed here as well. And yeah, that's it. These are the basic forms and logging part that has been added. So yeah, now let me show you the. So see, like this Python main file is the control hub. So we need to pass the like the argument to it before running it. So right now I'm passing board, and we'll start the board. And as I told, like we already tried. Let me show you the monitor status command. So once we run it, it will say like the monitor is status not running. So if I start it, it will ask me for the parameter, like how many level I want. I'll set 90, and pages I want one, and the interval I want, right? After how many minutes I want to run it. By default it's 60. So I will set it one for right now, and it will run it. So actually, I should have set it to 2 minutes. Otherwise, it will, just crash the boot, I think. But let's see. Would be a good try. So it is running, and if you see onto the score, it has gives us the command like this. So yeah, till it waits, let's see if there is something else from this file to see important. No, I think we covered mostly out of it. Hmm. So it already has the error handling. So if one scheduling is running, it won't run the another one. Okay, I think it just done scripting, but okay. So we already have the previous files. That's why I didn't trigger it up. But let's do one thing. Let's run it again. This time with the similar parameters for interval 20 and okay, so it ran. Oh yeah, it ran previously. So we got the players onto the scheduled time. uh yeah, so that's how our scheduler works. And then another command was the scrapy help command, uh help script. So it will just tell us like these are the special commands we can use. So yeah, that was about building a like a scrape filter notification system using a and controlling it via a Discord board.